Hello, this is Kate, and this is your weekly Oracle card reading. And today I'm going to be using the Ascended Masters Oracle card deck. Okay, so let's see what the beginning of the week has for us. Okay, and we've got Open Your Heart to Love, which is represented by Jesus. So the beginning of the week, we're going to want to enter the week with kind of being energetically open. So being open to others, open to expressing ourselves and kind of transmitting that love energy, but also being open to receive it from others. And I feel like this card is kind of referring specifically to communication. So communication within, relationships, friendships, family, and being able to communicate with others in a way that's very heart-centered. So I think a lot of us will sometimes communicate in a way that's maybe ego-based, or we know what we want something, so we're kind of communicating from that standpoint. And as we enter this week, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be really important for us to communicate in a way that's heart-centered. And when I say heart-centered, I mean communicating in a way where you take that other person's feelings into account and you come to a solution that works for everyone. Or another way of describing that, I don't know if anyone's familiar with nonviolent communication, but that was actually what first kind of popped into my head when I turned this card over, was being able to use that nonviolent communication system to communicate with others and strengthen those relationships. And I feel like this card is also symbolizing a connection with nature, just with all the animals around him. I think this is about connecting with nature, connecting with our pets, and getting out there and spending time in nature, whatever that looks like for you. Okay, and then as we move further into the week, purification is going to be an important theme that's going to pop up for us. And purification is symbolized by the white Tara. And purification can mean purification on the physical level, so eating a clean diet and getting lots of exercise and sweating and getting rid of physical toxins in your body. And it can also signify purification on a mental level too, so working towards getting rid of old programming and letting go of kind of old patterns that you've been holding on to as a way to kind of purify your mind as well as your body. And I see this card as being very much connected to the opening your heart to love. And I think that relationships and communication issues, as they come up for you, they're going to make you more aware of what it is that you need to let go of. So when you have those conflicts with other people or difficulty in communicating with other people, it's going to make you more aware of any kind of old programming, old thought patterns, and any kind of old hurts or resentments that you might be holding on to. And as you focus on your heart chakra, and as you focus on opening that center of yourself and becoming more open, not only is it a good feeling that you're opening your heart, but it can also be kind of a frightening feeling, and you're making yourself more vulnerable. So you might be also at the same time feeling very, very vulnerable. And while you're feeling vulnerable, all those old issues are going to kind of be able to rise to the surface. And that's where the purification card comes in, is just becoming aware of some of those old resentments, those old hurts, those patterns, and finding a way to let go of that old programming. And finding a way to kind of purify your mind and your body. So another thing that pops into my head when I see this card is yoga and breathing techniques. There's tons of breathing techniques that you can do to purify yourself. So I think this week is going to be, it'll be important to focus on purification. So physical purification, you know, breathing techniques, yoga, but also the mental stuff as well. Okay, now towards the end of the week, we've got choose peace. And I can't pronounce that name, but choose peace is represented by Paramahansa Yogananda. And choose peace comes to us because it, you know, as a reminder that peace is a choice. And you've probably heard that term, happiness is a choice, and so peace is a choice. And throughout this week, not just the end of the week, but throughout the whole week, you'll have many opportunities to either choose peace or choose something else. So you can choose conflict, you know, you can choose you know, battles or unhappiness, and you can also choose peace. And one conflict or one kind of issue that comes up for me with this card is that quite often we won't want to choose peace because we feel that in choosing peace we're letting people walk all over us, or you know, we're not standing up for ourselves if we just let something go, if it's really important to us. So the challenge this week will be to find a way to stand up for ourselves and express ourselves to others, but at the same time doing it in a way that allows us to choose peace at the same time, rather than choosing conflict or choosing unhappiness. And I feel like choose peace is kind of the theme for the whole week. And I think it's just a reminder, really, that, you know, we have the choice to focus on certain things, to think a certain way, to behave a certain way, and we have that, you know, a huge amount of free will in our lives. Sometimes it might not feel like there's a lot of free will, but in reality there really is. And you know, even our thoughts that we're thinking are something that we choose. And really, I feel like this card is very empowering in that sense, in that it's reminding you that you really are empowered to direct your thoughts and your energy in a way that's important to you, and that whether or not we conduct ourselves in a way that's peaceful and happy or joyful and positive, or whether we conduct ourselves in a way that's the opposite of that, is really something that we choose. And so I think throughout this week you might want to ask yourselves at various, you know, stages in the week, ask yourself if what you're doing or what you're thinking is peaceful. So another way to explain this is you always have that choice between choosing fear or choosing love. And again, I feel like I'm coming back to kind of this card. So you know, you want to ask yourself, am I choosing fear or choosing love? Or am I thinking fear-based thoughts, or am I thinking from a place of love? And that question can be very powerful. So ask yourself that question throughout the week, and you may even want to write it down on a piece of paper. Am I choosing love or fear? And you'll know when you're choosing fear because it feels horrible. You know, you'll feel tense, you'll feel maybe conflicted or stressed out or upset. And when you're coming from a place of love and you're thinking love-based thoughts, it feels really quite wonderful. So yeah, so that's been the reading for this week. So I hope you found something in there that was helpful for you. And thank you so much for joining me.